Dun, 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 dun.
Hello, everybody. Welcome again. This is the GG Rated Live Show. You're listening to episode 14, and I'm your host, the Iceman. Joining me today is our friend Hydra. How's it going, Hydra?
Yeah, doing good. Missing a bit Sebastian, to be honest, but the guy is just committed to other plans at the moment. I know that he's just running after all the Swedish girls, and well, it's a fairly distant reason, I would say. So okay.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
As Hydra mentioned, we are short one member today, so it'll just be Hydra and myself bringing you guys all the news and action, but we're still going to do our best to make things crazy and enjoyable for everybody listening. And
Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
yeah, it's going to be plenty fine. Next week you'll be missing Hydra, won't you? You're going to be on vacation or something?
Oh yeah, holidays for just 1 week, okay, from Sunday to Sunday. Not a big deal. I'll be back fast, but I'll be missing one of the GG rated. Well, actually, probably I won't be missing it. I'm gonna be watching the VOD later on, and I'll be even uploading it on my channel. But still, I'll be absent on that week. I'm gonna get a bit of sun. The weather here is getting really hot, really awesome sun outside, and I need to go out a little bit. You know, the nerds also need to get a bit of sun on their bones.
Yeah. I don't wanna see people getting flashbanged by your pale skin, so get some sun, my man. But dude, plenty of awesome stuff that happened this past week since we had our last show. Were you keeping up
Oh
with
yeah.
all the events?
Yeah, I've been following. Well, I always give priority to the GSL. I enjoy it a lot, but I've been following most of the stuff. I sat down to watch some NASL as well. Took a look around to check most of the matches actually from NASL and saw some pretty nice stuff. Also IPL, the news from IPL, and basically that's it. Now I'm following the up and down matches, but I actually haven't sat down today to take a look at the up and down, so I'm missing those matchups.
Yeah, neither
Though
have I.
we have the results here already.
Yeah, looks like we're gonna be
So
spoiling the results for both of us, but we
yeah,
gotta do that in
yeah,
the interest of the people, man. So let's go for it. And
it's fine.
since you're keen on the GSL, why don't we start off with that topic for today? And we'll start
Yep.
off with the Code S results. I will get the GSL May Code S round of 8 results up, and I'll read them off, and then I'll start the VOD, and then I'll let you take it from there, and you can give us some commentary on the matches.
So if you recall last week, I was basically monopolizing most of the stream. So I guess it's my turn to be just shut up and listen. I'm gonna try to learn something. Go for it.
All right. GSL May Code S round of 8. Getting the VOD rolling here. Code of 8, or round of 8 rather. We had Inca beating out Killer 3-0, and Nesty beating any Pro Prime 3-1, and this was for the Code S round of 8 day 2. So Hydra, why don't you comment a little bit on the matches, and I'll make some comments on after you're done. Go for it.
Well, you're starting with the round of 8, day 2. We had Killer versus Inca. Clear cut there, 3-0. And Inca is just in such a top shape. I mean, anyone following the GSL knows where he is at the moment. And obviously, we're going to throw some spoilers here. But Killer didn't stood a chance there. You do know that PvP has always that volatile element, and things might be going one side or the other, and it's a bit random, but still Inca was just on top of his game and dominated Killer. And then we had Nesty dominating his match against any Pro Prime. Wasn't that far away. I mean, ended up being a 3-1 on favor of Nesty. It shows how solid he is. But it was impressive to actually watch Nesty there. I mean, he had some beautiful moves. I'm pretty sure you're going to discuss, because you already mentioned that with me, about that spine crawler push that he did. Was just
Definitely.
brilliant. And people are, I'm sure, you're going to be able to check it out there on the VOD while I'm discussing this with the Iceman. But he was just so fine playing that game, and basically dominated any Pro Prime. Any Pro was doing fairly well. I mean, had a nice tournament, but he just faced a tremendous force there, a powerhouse playing Zerg. Nesty continues to be one of the finest currently on StarCraft 2, and is just showing that once more.
Definitely. I
What you think?
as we were talking earlier, I did want to mention the Nesty, the creative play that he showed, and just his phenomenal, his strength and complacency that he's showing throughout his matches. that match against any Pro Prime where he did the spine crawler rush on dual sight, I believe it was
Yeah,
just
it was huge. It was
that was
huge.
just awesome to watch. And I mean, he punished any Pro Prime. And I believe Nest T is showing us that, okay, people are saying, hey, maybe Zerg is a weak race. Nest T is showing how it's done, man. I mean, he is just powerful. And as we'll be talking on later on, we're going to be seeing Nest T in the finals. So second time we're having Nest T in the finals. And another Zerg player making it to the finals. But I mean, he's been playing so well. So if there's someone you want to emulate your Zerg play from, it would be Nest T. But I don't want to take anything away from our other champion as well, Inca, who made it out of the round of 8. His micro has been phenomenal. I mean, the guy is just looking solid on all fronts right now, and it's going to be really exciting to see what he can do versus Nest T.
Yeah, that is true. I would like to mention that obviously you're saying that Zerg can win. Zerg has the power to do it. Obviously, in the hands of Nasty, with some tremendous macro and micro, he can basically do everything at the same time. Sometimes I feel like he's playing inside that booth with his feet as well as his hands, you know.
He's got some extra mice down there.
Yeah, but basically he has the capability to multitask all of that. But it shows that it is doable with Zerg. Zerg is a powerhouse in the right hands. And obviously us lower players might struggle a little bit, but there is ways out, you know. It's better for you to try to adapt to the game you have than just keep complaining about the game you actually don't have.
Exactly.
Things will eventually be more balanced and will feel a bit more comfortable. But for now, you actually have a pretty decent and interesting matchup here. The races are trying to be even out by Blizzard. It's still not perfect, but it is doable, and ST is showing all of that to us.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, I don't actually play Zerg myself, but if there was one person that I wanted to emulate, I would either look to Demaga or Nest T, because both players, in my opinion, are very strong and consistent players, and especially Nest T he's proved to be a phenomenal player, and consistency is very key in what he's shown. But
Demaga is pretty awesome as well. Yeah, you're right.
I agree. I would love to see Demaga go over to Korea and try his luck in the GSL. In my opinion, that would be something that would be rewarding for him as well as his fans. What is your opinion?
Well, I would like to see him there. As you know, he did quite well on that team event. Remember, on the World Championships?
Yep.
I mean, he played really well there. He showed us a couple of tricks. He took a victory over Nesty, which is always a good thing, as you might imagine. And it's a sign that he might be fit to just go there and be one of the foreigners, as we all know. And I'm pretty sure he's been checking that out, especially this week. The foreign force in Korea at the moment is slowly dwindling down, and some of the references that you had there are basically fading away.
Yeah.
You have already several gamers, like players like TLO and Ret, just heading back home. And now you had the results this week with Jinro and such, but I guess we're going to talk about that soon enough. But it would be nice to have reinforcements there, I would say.
I agree. That about covers it for the round of 8. Shall we continue on with the round of 4?
Go for it, go.
All right, let me get the round of 4. Round of 4 results, we have, surprise, surprise, OGS Nada versus Inca. And Inca surprisingly took it 3-0. His high-pressure builds were just too well executed, and his micro was just phenomenal. And he punished Nada in every game that we saw. Even in the third game on Crevasse, where Inca made a mistake and Nada had scouted his cheese early on, Inca was able to gather himself and go into a sort of two-base all-in. So he was able to save himself there, but he still, I mean, executed well. The guy is playing phenomenal right now, and he took the series 3-0 there. And then we saw Nest T versus SC4U, which turned out to be an excellent series, went all 5 games, and Nest T won 3-2. And SC4U proved to be quite the opponent. He gave Nest T one heck of a time. And if you haven't seen those matches, I would highly recommend that you go back and watch that, because it was very entertaining, ZVT.
Yeah, I watched all of that. Actually, it's funny because I was convinced I already watched the GSL semifinals. and I just let it go for like a couple of days. So I only noticed last night that I actually haven't sat down to check these matches, and I watched them. I started last night and ended up this morning finishing up the Nesty versus SC for you,
Hmm.
and boy, it was just awesome to watch that.
Yeah.
But first things first, about Inca versus Nada. As you saw as well, Inca went for a lot of quirky builds, lots
Hmm.
of shenanigans, proxy stuff with proxy stargates and such. But like we already discussed, and we were commenting on that as well before we started the show. I mean, at this level, you have to do what you have to do. And if Inca thinks that that's the thing that will work to break Nada, he just goes for it. And actually paid off. I mean, 3-0, Nada didn't stood a chance there. With all of those proxy stargates and all the arrest that he did, he just paid off.
Hmm.
And then you have the really close call, SC versus Nesty. Ended up with the final game on the best out of 5 being kind of a trade-off, and it was really, really close, really risky there. But Nesty was able to pull off the win. And respect for Nesty because he was just being solid, solid, solid here. And obviously, I need to send a shout out as well for SC for you. Keep in mind that it's the only for you guy on Code S,
Hmm.
and he reached the semifinals. Something tells me that for you needs to recruit some more players, good quality players, because SC is a bit alone at the moment.
Yeah, poor SC, but he really gave Nesty a run for his money, and that was a very exciting series. But
Yeah, really close.
yeah, but it's going to be a good finals, man, because we are going to be rewarded with some interesting players. I think these people are kind of on the opposite end of this spectrum, you might say,
Hmm.
because if you guys notice, if you look in the stream, the finals will be OGS Inca versus Nesty, and Nesty is more of a complete player who focuses on macro and micro at the same time, really wants to build up his forces, whereas Inca, so far he's been showing us high pressure, quirky builds, as Hydra was saying, and this is going to be quite an interesting clash between these two players, in my opinion. What do you think, Hydra?
Hmm.
Any predictions?
It's going to be awesome. Nesty is already a veteran on these situations here, but Inke, I think it's the first time he's actually getting into a GSL finals. He has what it takes. I mean, the guy is really solid, and I think that even on the interviews he mentioned that he's been practicing with his teammates. He was thanking Young Min Chul, OGS MC, so he's taking his lessons just right, being humble enough to just learn from the best to become one of the best as well. I mean, getting to the finals of the GSL, it doesn't happen every day. So hopefully Inga will be able to put out a nice show against Nasty, but beware because Nasty is really, really good. I mean, top Zerg in the whole world, no questions asked. And let me be honest about this, I do like Nasty a lot. I remember his nickname from the days of Brood War. It was Zergbong, and I always remember that and makes me laugh. And I'm probably going to be rooting for the guy.
Uh-huh.
He's a huge Zerg player, and hopefully he's going to be doing good on the finals. But if Inca takes the win, it doesn't affect me at all. I mean, it's going to be nice. I just want a nice, really close games there on that final, not a 4-0 and it's basically over. I want it to go to the last game and be a really, really close battle, so we can get an epic final.
I agree completely. Um, I know that basically in my eyes and probably most other people's eyes, Inca is the clear underdog here since Nesty has the finals experience. But I'm not really sure who to root for. I'm basically neutral in this situation. I just want to see a awesome series, as you were saying. You don't want to see a quick 4-0. But whoever wins,
Yeah.
wins. I mean, it would be cool to see Nesty win. That way we would have two GSL champions who have won twice. That would be MC and Nesty holding two titles each if Nesty wins this time. So that would be
Yeah, yeah.
kind of cool for the whole GSL anthology and backstory. But man, whoever wins, I'll be excited for because it's going to be an action-packed series nonetheless.
Yeah, it will be cool. So what's next now? Tell me.
Let's move on to the Code A. We have the Code A semifinals. I will get that image up. And
Mhm.
we have Bomber beating out Ryung 3-1, and MVP beating Keen 3-1 as well. So clear, decisive victories in those matches on the Code A semifinals.
Yeah.
Anything you want to talk about those?
just saying that Bomber is revealing himself and becoming one of the Terran beasts in Korea. The guy was so good, so efficient. And we're going to follow this up with the finals.
Hmm.
And Bomber just did brilliantly. I mean, he defeated 3-1 Ryang here on the semifinals. And
Hmm.
on the other matchup, you had I Am MVP, who is a tremendous Terran player. I always keep wondering what is he doing here on Code A, but I mean that things are just getting this tight. He needs to be aware he cannot slip, or else he's going to end up on Code A.
Yeah.
That's what happened to MVP. It already happened to other players.
Hmm.
And you had both Bomber and MVP winning 3-1. Bomber against Ryang, MVP against Keen. And they ended up matching and battling against each other on a massive TVT on the finals.
Yeah. Let's go for the finals here as I get the results up.
Yeah,
As you guys saw from the previous results, it was Startail Bomber versus I Am MVP, and man, great series. Surprise, surprise, Bomber manhandled MVP, man. I mean, 4-2. This was pretty clear cut in my opinion, and Bomber, as you said, revealing his strength with a great win.
yeah. I mean,
Anything else you
he's
want to
been
add to
doing
this? I mean, it was just powerful play
yeah.
by Bomber.
Yeah, Bomber played very well. He already revealed himself in the past. Obviously, he already shown signs that he is a quality Terran. But he's been evolving, and I mean, for you to take a win 4-2 over MVP, you need to be good. At least
Hmm.
on that moment, you need to be on top shape. And Bomber was just able to provide a huge battle there, and basically kind of dethroned MVP because, with me included, there was a lot of people already thinking that MVP got this and is going to win this finals, and Bomber just took it away from his hands.
Yeah.
Respect for MVP, obviously, but congrats to Bomber. Awesome results, and he's the Code A champion. So with a bit of luck, we're going to see more of him on Code S soon enough.
Yeah, definitely. That wraps it up for the Code S and the Code A. Real
Yeah.
quick, do you want to go through the up and down matches? Since I have not watched any of those, but we had the results for day one and day two. We'll go through
Yeah,
those
we
results,
just
and then we can talk a little bit about the super tournament that's coming up here.
Yeah, also, I think you have a picture of all the groups from the GSL Up and Down, because for now, only half of the groups played, and
Yeah,
maybe you could show that at the end. But
sure. Let me
you're
put
gonna
that
go
up
for the
first. I'll
first
just
one?
put up. I'll put up. No, I'll put up the groups. I have all the groups up
Okay,
right now.
okay,
So why
go
don't
for
you read
it.
through all the groups for us?
Yeah, well, basically, Group A, B, C, and D already played when we were doing the show. You guys already know the results. Was kind of interesting, actually, because you ended up having Hoseo-san going down to Code A. Bit disappointing. That group wasn't the easiest one, but it was a fairly balanced one with Sagisu, Trickster, Oseo-san, and MVP Keen. And then on Group B, you had Jinro, Zinio, Koka. Group C, Zenex, Bian, Czech Prime, and Alive. And then on Group D, OGSMC, Hungan Prime, and Ryang. And like I was saying, and on Group A, you ended up having Keen advancing to Code S. Really good result. Keen is just playing solid. He did very well there.
Hmm.
Trickster was able to remain on Code S, but he was struggling there. It wasn't clear cut. And then you have one of the biggest surprises, Hoseo-san, basically fading away to Code A. He was doing so well on the previous season, and now basically he's going to be stuck in Code A, battling his way up. Not going to be easy. We've been seeing a lot of stars just crashing and burning into Code A, and some of them even disappearing.
Hmm.
Then on Group B, you had Koka, Jinro, and OGS Zinio, and it was really complicated. I mean, I
Yeah.
watched all the matches and watched Jinro, and Jinro was really frustrated inside that booth. Things weren't going his way. He tried a lot of bunker rushes and a lot of harass, but things didn't pay off. He had a group with 2 Zergs, and both those Zergs were able to own him. Koka ended up advancing to Code S. Jinro is now down on Code A, and Zinio was able to remain on Code S. So that's what I'm talking before, you know.
Yeah.
Apparently, the foreign force is slowly dwindling away.
Yeah. I mean, General just looked like he was struggling, man. And
Yeah,
I mean, he
yeah,
was doing great. He got those two high up. He got into the round of four, I believe, twice, and then it just seems like things started slowly dematerializing for him. And right now, he just seems like he's searching for himself, and he needs to get back to his solid play style. Either that, or I mean, his gameplay just hasn't evolved with the entire community over there in Korea, which, I mean, we're seeing all sorts of great players show up. Code S is packed to the hilt with amazing
Yeah.
talent, and Code A, I mean, there's not much elbow room to work with in there either, as we can see. So
Hmm.
better for the foreigners to start stepping up their game, and or they might find themselves going to the Code B or being deported, man.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what they're thinking about, but there was already a lot of people on Team Liquid commenting that maybe it's time for Team Liquid to pull out of Korea. It's
Yeah.
not something that you can just take that decision lightly, you know?
Hmm.
It's also a sign, might be interpreted as a sign of weakness, like
Yeah.
we do not belong here, we cannot handle the pressure, and it might not be what Team Liquid wants at the moment.
Yeah.
Also, I'm pretty sure that Shinro and Huck, they want to stay there. They want to
Hmm.
battle again into Code S and do the best they can. I mean, they're the both guys that are even learning Korean and trying to get used to all the environment and to the culture and the society. So I'm pretty sure they're committed to stay there. But I mean, it depends a lot on the results. If one day both of them just got stuck on Code B, maybe they just decide to head back home. Especially because, as we all know, the scene, the StarCraft 2 scene outside of Korea is getting really big, and
Hmm.
the phenomenon is not actually happening as it was on Brood War, like it was really focused on Korea, and there was not much going on outside. Actually, this time seems to be the other way around. There's a lot of tournaments to win outside, and these players might come to Europe and North America and rack up a lot of money. We'll see what happens, but for now we have Jinro on Kode, and I'm pretty sure he's not very happy about that.
Yeah, I agree. I do remember some people. I believe I was watching one of the Justin.tv streams, the one with Idra and DJ Wheat that were commenting on. What was that
Yeah,
the Masters
I
Cup?
think it
Was
was
it?
the Evil
Yeah,
Geniuses.
Evil
It's Evil
Geniuses Master
Geniuses
Cup,
tournament.
and I saw plenty of people in the chat saying, I mean, they seemed like they were trolling Team Liquid team, and they were just saying how, oh man, Team Liquid boys are all dissolving and people are falling apart and stuff. So I mean,
Yeah,
a little bit of
there's a lot
lack of
of trolling
faith.
there as well.
Yeah, people are starting to show lack of faith. Maybe I don't know, just something to think
Yeah,
about. But
keep in mind that on streams like that, there's
yeah,
always a
yeah,
lot
of
of
course,
trolling.
of course.
But yeah, I mean, I understand the feeling. Like, oh my God, Team Liquid is just crumbling in Korea, and they should get out of there and just focus their top players on the European tournaments and the North American tournaments, and just try to get as many wins as possible. Okay, that's viable, but I'm pretty sure they want to have a position and some visibility on the GSL. That's
Hmm.
important as well.
I agree completely. But yeah, that's it for the Code A up and down day one. Let's go for the day two results.
Yeah.
Day two, we have TSL Alive advances to Code S. Zenix Bjorn stays in Code S. And Czech Prime now in Code A. That's for Group C. Group D, we have Slayers Ryung stays in Code A. OGSMC stays in Code S. And what is that? Maka Prime? Sorry, my eyes just... Maka Prime stays in Code S.
Let me take a look. Let me take a look. I'm just checking here
No, it's Hungen
with
Prime.
the
I'm sorry.
results.
Hungen Prime stays in Code S. I don't know why I was
Yeah.
looking at a smaller image. But Hungen Prime stays
Well,
in Code S, so that's for Group D.
I'm a bit sad, obviously, with Czech Prime. I always loved the guy, but basically you have here a TSL Alive who was alive for you before.
Hmm.
Finally grabbing a spot on Code S. He was struggling on Code A, trying to get out of it, so congrats to Alive. Zenex Bian was able to stay in Code S, and now we have Czech Prime on Code A. I'm not sure where Czech Prime is heading, but feels a bit like Maka Prime, you know what I mean? And it's a bit disappointing for me because he was one of the early idols from StarCraft 2, if I can call it that. And then you have Slayers Ryung, who is even his teammates on Team Slayer say he's one of the finest there, but he wasn't able to grab a spot on Code S. He stayed in Code A. He was on a really difficult group, as you might imagine. I mean, Ryung, OGSMC, and Hungen Prime isn't easy.
Yeah.
And we have OGSMC staying on Code S. Good news, in my opinion.
Definitely.
Wouldn't like to see him stuck on Code A for a season.
Yeah.
And Hungen Prime just holding there and staying on Code S as well. So I guess that Ryung will have to work a bit more. And I don't know. Maybe we're gonna have to wait and hear more about the Slayers team. I really like Slayers MMA. Maybe he's gonna be the next superstar there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what happened here. Okay, now do me a favor. Go back to that group so we can check the
Yeah,
groups that are
that's what I was
still
gonna
to
say.
come.
Let's go over the up and down groups because we have Group E, F, G, and H still to talk about, and
Yeah.
I'm sure we have a few opinions to go over that. So why don't you lead the way real quick?
Okay, let me take a look here. We have on the groups, starting with Group E, we have who's the guys? Well, this group is going to be
Marine,
really hard, and
yeah,
Huck is involved in it. I
Huck,
mean,
Marine
Marine
King
King Prime,
Prime, and
Huck, and
MMA.
yeah, it's a really solid group. Two tremendous Terrans, and Huck is going to struggle a lot to
Yeah,
actually be able to do something about it on this group. I mean, I'm not saying he's just completely destined to be on Kodai and stuck there, but he's going to have a big hill to climb facing Marine King and MMA. Like I was just commenting, I think MMA is Code's material. Marine King is just solid. I mean, the guy already did so many finals. He tends to break on the finals, as we all know, and doesn't get all the way up on the top of the mountain, but still it's a sign that he has what it takes. So this is going to be complicated for Huck. I would
definitely.
say at first sight that Marine King and MMA will be the ones going for Codas on this group.
Crazier
What
things
do you
have
think
happened,
about
but
this
you
one?
never know.
Yeah. What
In
do you
my
think? Do you think Huck stands a chance or?
it's hard to tell, man. Marine King Prime, the guy is a solid player. He's been to plenty of finals, so he knows all sorts of kinds of pressure situations. So for me, I think that he is going to be a clear cut victor in this group. That leaves us with Hawk and MMA. To be honest, MMA has shown more stability than Huck has. We've seen more, can you say, big matches, big time matches between MMA and his opponents where he has come out on top in the team league or in the Code A, and I think he's just maybe more fit for this match than
Yeah.
Huck is, but you never know. Huck can still pull something out of his hat, and honestly, I'm rooting for him, so I really hope he does because I would like to see him stay in Code S and have another shot at
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. It'll be nice.
Group F,
Then,
we have
yeah,
Kyrix, the Wind, and Violet, and I think that the Wind should be able to make it out of this group no problem, but you never know. I mean, the guys play. He's as we stated before, he's the OGS coach, and I'm not sure how much time he gets to devote to practicing, whereas he's probably coaching a lot more. But what are your thoughts on this group, Hydra?
well, I've been following Violet, and the guy played really well. Seemed quite solid. And this group is going to be a bit random because basically it's three Zergs. So you know that sometimes the matchup you can just out of a little detail, you know, a little delay, or your opponent being able to cut a corner there and just gain a couple of seconds might be beneficial. And this is going to be risky. I mean, the Wind is good. He's already been in Codes in the past and doing fine. But he's basically a coach from Team OGS that actually practices a lot as well. I'm not sure if he's in the same level as Violet and Kyrix. We're going to see. I do know that Kyrix Zenith was kind of a big Zerg way back. I always recall these matches against Marine King Prime, and that was at least like, what, 3 seasons ago, something like that.
Yeah, I think it was something
And
like
then we
that.
have Violent. That for me, Violet, I don't know, he was good. Was playing nice on Code A this season, and felt like a comfortable Zerg, so he might put up a surprise. I'm not gonna compromise with any results here. Besides, I would like to see OGS the Wind on Code S, yes,
Yeah,
but I don't think it's gonna be clear cut. It's gonna be
no,
really, really close, really risky.
I agree with you. You want to take over for Group G?
Yeah, let me look at Group G. Well, Group G, all Terrans, plenty of TVTs. We have Rain, Rainbow, and MVP. I'm all for MVP. Okay? Yeah,
That's kind of obvious.
yeah. But I mean, you already had Rain and Rainbow as big references playing Terran in Korea, and on the early stages of the GSL, they were really respected, but they kind of been dwindling down and fading away, especially with the the appearance of a lot of nice, good new players that were actually at their level, and in some situations there are even above their level. So on this group, I'm hoping for MVP to do well, so we can have him on Code S once more. And maybe I would bet on Rainbow, just because I'm a fan of him from back on the days of Brood War, and I
Hmm.
would like to see him back on the center stage, Code S once more. Would be nice.
Yeah, I would agree with your result picks as well. If MVP somehow gets upset and he finds his way back in the Code A again, man, who knows what's going to happen, because this guy clearly needs to be in the Code S, and I mean, he just needs to get it together and get to Code S, so we can finally see him battle the big names in Code S again. But yeah, pretty sure that it's going to be MVP and Rainbow, as you said. And lastly, Group H, we have Lin and Snare and Bomber. And this is going to be a tough group as well, but in my opinion, Bomber and Snare should be able to make it out. Um,
Yeah,
Lin has
you've been
been Fox Lin has been doing well, and then he doesn't do so well. So I mean, this guy, he's had plenty of opportunities, but for me right now, I don't think his game is completely collected right now. And I'm pretty sure we're going to see Bomber and Snare make it out of this, and it's another all Terran group. So is it an
well. I'm taking just a look here. Like you were saying, Lin is really unstable. And then you have Bomber here.
mm-hmm.
ST Bomber been doing quite well. Quite a good player. And OGS in Snare, I don't know. It's another group loaded with Terrans. You know,
Yeah,
it makes things easy to practice. So people just only have TVTs to take care of. But at the same time, you need to go into all the details on TVT, because you're only going to face Terrans, and I'm pretty sure that your opponents are going to be doing the same thing. They're going to try to cut corners and pick up every little detail on every map. So they need to focus a lot on that matchup.
right.
I don't know. I would like to see Bomber passing.
I would too, because he's shown some phenomenal gameplay in the Code A so far, and
Yeah, yeah.
I think he deserves to go to Code S, and I'm pretty sure we'll see him advance to the Code S. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. And real quick, I just wanted to mention, one of our viewers in the chat, Solon TLG, has mentioned that MC said in an interview that Hey Pro will be leaving Korea. So that's one
Yeah.
more foreigner that's departing from the Korean scene. So thank you, Solon, for that piece of information.
Yeah, it's basically they're slowly dwindling down, you know. Feels like we need another batch. Maybe motivated players. Feels like players just feel wearing down, and they're just not at the top of their game. And well, on HeyPro case, I mean, he had some appearances on the GSL, but he never did very well there. He struggled a lot. So maybe him heading back home and being in Sweden, as you know, there's that new pro gaming house in Sweden. Maybe he's gonna go and stay there. He might be doing well on the European scene. Who knows? Would be cool.
Yeah, I really hope he does show up at the foreigner house, or in the European house that Sebastian is saying has been putting a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah.
information in on. But hopefully we'll see something good come out of over there, and hopefully those players will be able to recollect their thoughts and focus again on the game and their progression. But that's enough with that. Let's move on to the GSL Super Tournament that's coming up here. The big thing about this is the prize payout. There's going to be lots of money here, and I mean, this is another aspect of the GSL. We've had already the GSL team leagues. We've had World Championship. We have the regular GSL Code S and Code A, and now we're seeing the GSL Super Tournament. So GOM TV is just doing putting lots of eggs in the basket for the GSL, and I think it's being a very fruitful venture, and it's something that's plenty exciting for everybody to pay attention to and watch. And with this kind of money and this big event that's going to be happening, I think we're going to be seeing a lot of big names and a lot of big action like we've seen from previous GSL special events. What are your thoughts on the match, or the tournament that'll be taking place, Hydra?
Well, I think it's huge. It's going to be awesome to watch it, obviously. Has a big payout there with the prices. As you can see, the rewards for actually getting for like what round of 16 and so you
Yeah.
start racking up some money, and there's a lot of money involved. So this is going to be attracting a lot of players, obviously, and we're going to see the best of the best facing here, hopefully. Looks pretty cool. I'm ready to watch it. I'm just stoked. I just want to see if it's going to be as very similar to what you already had on the GSL, or if they're gonna change something. You know, they're showing it and calling it the super tournament, so they will have to make something epic happening. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
I don't know about the venue, the place to do the tournament. I'm not sure exactly what they're planning, but being called a super tournament, I would be hoping for something really big with a lot of people watching it. So it will probably require a lot of advertising and publicity in Korea to attract people there. So you can make something like with the magnitude or something that you can actually call super tournament.
Yeah.
Still, it's going to be awesome. I'm ready to watch it. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. And I mean, we've been really rewarded with previous big time events that the GSL has put on. So something with the name Super Tournament and with this sort of prize payouts, I mean, I'm expecting some huge matchups and some like big time entertainment. So look out for that, guys. Make sure you pay attention and keep checking things out. And the final event will be held on June 18th, and it will be a best of 7 matchup, according to the news that was posted. The 64-man tournament will be starting on May 23rd, so keep your calendars marked and watch for those events coming up in the near future.
Yeah.
Let's shift
Okay,
gears
so
a
what's
bit.
next?
Let's shift gears a bit and move to the North American scene. And let's discuss the news with the IGN Pro League and the NASL results for NASL Week 4. Let me just get the news up here. As you
Yeah.
guys may have noticed before, IPL Season 1 just took place. And this was a just phenomenal event that was put on by IGN. Post-production and quality was just through the roof, in my opinion, and there was no lack of interesting games either. So it was nice to see that both the players and the quality of the presentation were both top-notch. And it was only the beta test, so as you can imagine, I'm sure they've ironed out any wrinkles in the production, and Season 2 is sure to be even better than the first season. And with a $50,000 prize pool, you can bet your bottom dollar that this is going to be quite an epic event. And so far we
You can
have
say you can say bet your ass. It's okay, but keep going. It's fine.
the 4 invited
Go
players
on,
so
go on.
far are E.G. Idra, Root Kiwikaki, Select, and E.G. Axelav. So I believe all 4 of these players made it quite deep into the tournament, as we had Idra facing Kiwikaki in the finals of Season 1 and Idra taking the victory, and I believe Select had 3rd place. And I mean, so we're already starting off with some great players who showed a phenomenal play last season, and things are only going to get better, in my opinion, this season. What do you think, Hydra?
Yeah, well, IPL is just flowing, excellent quality of production on the season 1, and they just announced season 2 with $50,000 on the at stake. I'm pretty sure it's going to attract some of the bigger names playing StarCraft 2 at the moment. I'm hoping for this time to have a broader spectrum. You know what I mean? We focused a lot on the North American side. It has some really cool matches with some good players, but I want to see it growing. You know,
Yeah.
grab some European players. Maybe you can get some European players there. I know that there's conditions to be followed. Like all games are going to be played on the North American servers. You need to have a North American server account and so on. So, but I mean, it's acceptable to play as being North American, Latin America, or European.
Right.
Would be nice to see some of the top Europeans showing up on the IGN league. You know, would be cool.
I agree
Still,
completely.
yeah, still, first season was awesome, and they stated several times it was a trial run, so it was just one of the finest trial runs I ever seen, and I can only expect good things coming out of this season too, so let's go for it. I'm stoked.
Yeah. I'm definitely pumped, and I'll be looking forward to it. And as you said, I hope that they reach out and get more players from not just the North American region, but Europe and Latin America as well, because there's some excellent players there as well. And in my opinion, I just want to see this grow, and I think it's going to grow because they proved in the beta trial
Yeah,
run
yeah.
that they have the capability and the prowess how to do this and
Hmm.
run it properly. And I mean, things are looking good already. So yeah, guys, definitely stay tuned and look forward to the season 2 of the IPL because it's sure to be a blast. But
Yeah.
let's move on to NASL and cover the results there. And why don't you read through the first two results for the week of 4, the first two bracket list, and I'll read through
Hmm.
the last two, and I'll get the VOD rolling here.
Yeah, go for it. So basically, on NASL, you had a lot of cool matchups this week. I watched some of them, not all, unfortunately, but I do like the league. I do know there's some issues. People debate that a lot with the latency and playing from Korea to North American servers and so on, but it's something that professional players try to deal with. Not easy every time, but we actually been having some good results from Korean players as well. Even if they're struggling with a bit of lag and latency on their end, they're trying to put out the best effort and actually getting some nice results. But starting here, we had Moro winning 2-1 over Moon on a ZVZ. Then you had Chef dominating TLO 2-0. Was kind of a surprise. People were rooting for TLO a lot, but Sheth just showing that he is on top shape, he's doing very well, and
Hmm.
he's now getting very well recognized on the North American scene. He has his stream, he's getting a lot of visibility, and actually I think it's well deserved. The guy is good.
Hmm.
Also, then we had, I think something that was a surprise. We had Six Checks Vibe dominating over Grubby 2-0. People were rooting for Grubby, and well, he wasn't able to withstand the pressure from Vibe. So Vibe, the Zerg player, dominating the Protoss Grubby. And then we had Rainbow winning over Kiwikaki 2-1. Close call there. Unfortunately, Kiwikaki wasn't able to withstand the pressure, and Rainbow did quite well. One of the examples of Korean pro gamers playing from Korea and being able to withstand or handle the latency, getting used to it, and try to fight back and play with the tools that they have, and Rainbow in this situation winning. And then you have, well, I don't know what to say anymore. Phoenix 2-0 of Artosis. Artosis is out of his depth, in my opinion. He's a brilliant caster, but if he wants to play at this level, he needs to commit a lot more time because he feels like he's on prehistory and everyone else is on modern age. He still haven't got a single win on the NASL. All defeats, just a bunch of them, and now losing to Phoenix, who is quite a good Terran player, but as you know, he hasn't been having the best results ever. So when he loses to someone that is also on the slump, it's always a bad sign.
Yeah.
Moving on for the other day that was played, you have the TT1 defeating Moman, the French Zerg player. TT1 defeated him 2-1. Dark Force, the German Zerg, defeating In Control 2-0. Clear cut there. In Control tried his best, but wasn't enough. And then you have my favorite, July Zerg, defeating 2-0 over Cruncher. As you know, Cruncher at the moment has a lot of fans and a lot of haters because of the Hydra relationship, if I can call it that. But yeah, July took a clear victory over him, 2-0. And we have White defeating QXE. 2-1 was a close call there, but as you guys know, QXE is trying to focus back into his game now because he's been studying and finishing off his university-related stuff, and probably is going to start shipping up now. White Ra, I think he didn't even imply these special tactics, but yeah, he took the victory 2-1 there and finished off QXE once more. Okay, now back to you.
All right. Um, Moving on, we have TT1 beating out Moman 2-1 in a Protoss versus Zerg matchup. TT1, great player, and good victory there. Moman took game one, and TT1 just put it into overdrive and took the next two games. Then moving on, we have Dark Force beating In Control, the headman of NASL himself being rolled here 2-0 by Dark Force. We also see July beating Cruncher 2-0, and White Raw beating QXC 2-1. And did you just go over those, Hydra? I think I'm on the wrong bracket.
Let me look.
Yeah, I think
Which
you
one are
just
you
went over
following?
those
Tell me.
actually. Yeah.
Which one are you going over? Tell
I
me.
accidentally just went over the white draw bracket again. I was
Yeah,
paying
it's fine. Don't worry. Just keep following. It's
My bad.
fine.
I was paying attention to the
Yeah.
users in chat. But moving on to the next series of brackets, we have Straylock beating Axlav 2-1. We have Moonglade beating DDE 2-0. Moonglade finally showing his strength here. Great player with a great result there, 2-0. We have Startail Squirtle beating Kawaii Rice 2-0. Naniwa beating Slush 2-0. Naniwa has just been playing phenomenal for quite
Yeah.
some time now. It seems anywhere I look, I see Naniwa is always winning, doesn't seem to be losing. We have Hey Pro versus Nada. This matchup has actually been rescheduled, so we'll have to look forward to the future to see this matchup. Then we have
Yeah.
Rhett facing Starlife, and Rhett winning over Starlife 2-1. Then we see Select versus Goody. Select wins 2-1 over Goody. Then everybody's crowd favorite when Hydra mentions it, Hasu Hobbs versus Cats. And Hasu Hobbs wins 2-1. Braddock versus Ace 2-1. And MC Destroying Machine 2-0.
Yeah. The two guys on top shape here is Naniwa and Asu Hobbs. I mean, they're just completely on a peak of form. Hasu Hobbs, as you know, has been revealing himself on the TSL. And then you have Naniwa just dominating everything he touches, turns into gold. Every tournament he plays is just completely dominating since the last MLG, and apparently keeps rolling because he just defeated Slush, clear cut there, 2-0. And well, respect for Asu Hobbs as well, defeating Cats there. And also the most obvious result here was MC against Machine. Actually, people were hoping a bit more from Machine, but MC didn't give him any chances and was clear cut 2-0 and over with Machine.
So pretty good results there from NASL. Some interesting matchups. It seems that there's no real stable, clear-cut victor in NASL. It seems that at any moment in time, anyone can just eke out the victory. And I mean, there's no clear-cut dominator in the tournament so far, as compared to Korea, where we see some big names who are the clear-cut leaders over there. So I mean, interesting to see this sort of mix-ups and matchups taking place. So definitely,
but I mean, it makes sense. It's a very long league. It's going to take several weeks. They're just playing games in the league, trying to rack up points. And sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down, and you only see like a couple of players actually taking all the wins on every game that they play. But there's a lot of balance. You know, the players are close calls there. They're balanced, so you take a win this week, and next week you're going to get some defeats. And it is interesting. I mean, it's a way of keeping everything interesting and appealing to all the viewers. And I'm glad that NASL is doing well as well.
Yeah, definitely. Then that's what I was saying. It's nice to see fresh mix-up going on. But let's move on to TSL 3, as we had an excellent matchup this past weekend. And if you guys missed it, Naniwa is headlining the news again in his matchup versus, I'll let you say it, Hydra, this time, since I'm not as good with you. Not as good as your accent, but why don't you say who was playing?
Where? I'm sorry. Could you repeat that?
TSL 3, Naniwa versus Hasu Hobbs.
Hasu Hobbs.
Yeah, there you go. Anyways.
Yeah. Do you have any votes from it?
Yep, I'm going to get that rolling real quick. But, Naniwa, again, headlining the news, just clear victor here. He was a powerful player against Hasu Hobbs, and every time I turn around, I see Naniwa's name in the headlines somewhere. But why don't you talk a little bit more about that, and I'll get the VOD rolling, Hydra.
I mean, I don't have much to say. Those two players are just in top shape. They've been showing their skills on the TSL. As well as you can see here on the NASL, they are doing quite well, which is a sign that it isn't a fluke. It's not like, oh yeah, that night went very well and I took the wins on the TSL, and then I just did utter crap and just disgraced myself on the NASL. No, they're just being consistent, taking advantage of all the things that they can profit from their race, playing Protoss at the moment, and just showing everyone how far you can take your play style and your skill playing the race. Respect for both of them, Naniwa and Hasselhoff. They've been doing brilliantly. At least, well, for Hasselhoff, like the last couple of months, and Naniwa a bit longer. On Naniwa, I already commented this several times. Since he went into Dignitas, things seem to be settling down for him, and he just dropped out all the BM and the verbal abuse and all that stuff, and he's actually focusing on his game, and it shows. It shows on his play style, it shows on his results. Hasu Hobbs, I mean, I know the guy for quite a while, but before he got qualified for the TSL, I wasn't actually following him, and I'm pretty sure most people wasn't following him as well. The fact is that he's doing tremendously well, and probably was one of those players that deserved a bit more visibility, and now he's getting it. So congrats to both of them, and you're going to have a massive Swedish clash, which I'm assuming that Sebastian would like to talk about.
Yeah.
But, well, it's not here today. I guess he's going to have to wait. He's going to have to wait for next week.
Yeah.
He brings a huge Swedish flag next week, and we just put a webcam on him, and he can just go with his flag all day
start
long.
Dancing around, start singing.
Yeah, but it was awesome to watch. Was some impeccable matchups there, the semifinals from the TSL, and we're now getting ready for some huge battles on that final. At least I'm hoping for.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty big finals, and Naniwa, I mean, he's deserved to get here. He has played really well, and he's played consistently, which is the key. And I'm really looking forward to see what happens in the finals, because I'm pretty sure Naniwa has the ability to take the win here in the finals, and in my opinion, he's the favored player to win the finals. What about you, Hydra?
I really don't know. I really don't know. I would like to see Naniwa winning. I don't know. He was a bad boy. Okay, the guy had a lot of BM, had a lot of issues in the past, and seems like he's growing out of it. He's focusing and showing that even if you're by any chance having any issues in your life or professionally as a pro gamer on this specific situation, you can overcome that. And as long as you commit yourself, you dedicate yourself to what you're doing, and just set everything else on the side, you can achieve some really good goals. And that's the example that Naniwa is actually providing for all of us. And based on that, I'm rooting for the guy. But I'm not that biased, meaning that I'll be happy if Naniwa doesn't win. You know, I just want some epic finals. I want to enjoy myself watching that. Hopefully, you're going to have thousands of people enjoying those matchups on TSL as well, and just make TSL stand out as one of the big references on the online tournaments, so the next one can even be bigger, you know?
Yeah.
Would be cool. Still, I'm more than happy with the results, and probably going to be rooting for Naniwa.
Yeah, definitely. And that was a nice summary and a nice wrap-up. And let's just look ahead real quick. I'm going to put the matchups that are going to be taking place. I'll put those up on the screen here for the TSL 3 finals. Saturday, May 14th, we will see the best of 7 series for the third place between Empire Kaz and Maus Hasuabs. So you guys will not want to miss out on that. We'll be having DJ Wheat and Husky casting that series, so tune in for that. And then the TSL 3 Grand Finals will take place Sunday, May 15th, and it will be casted by Chill and Day 9, and that will be featuring Naniwa and Maus Thorzane. So guys, tune in, because Naniwa versus Thorzane, this is going to be huge.
Yeah.
And all Swedish battle here, so, I mean, Sebastian is going nuts. I can imagine him at work right now, and he's probably going to listen to the VOD later, and he's going to spam me with text. But, I mean, Naniwa versus Thorzane, who would have thought that these two players would have made it to the final? And it's going to be epic. So, guys, do not miss out on that. You're definitely going to want to tune in for that. Any thoughts on any of those games that are going to be coming up, Hydra?
I don't know. I didn't even mention much of Thorzane, but he is so good.
Yeah.
He's been revealing himself as such a solid player. And I don't know. Yeah, I'm hoping just for an awesome finals. I'm not gonna allow myself to stretch into a lot of future predictions because I know that I'm gonna be torched for it. I'm just gonna sit down and enjoy it as a viewer, like everyone will do, and that's basically it. Um, what else can I say? He deserves a win in the TSL. I mean, if he gets to the finals and take the final victory there, it's well deserved. He's been showing tremendous play. You guys seen on the previous matches when he played, if I'm not mistaken, against MC, he did brilliant there. Had some awesome moves. Was beautiful to watch those two guys clashing. So even if he takes it from Naniwa in the end, yeah, I'll be happy the same.
Yeah, it's going to be a great matchup, and I'm looking forward to it, man. Thursday, Naniwa. Tune in May 15th. Don't miss out. TSL 3 Grand Finals. Be there or have your house burned down, and that'll be your only excuse that I'll accept for not watching it. But definitely check it out, guys. And I believe that wraps it up for today's show. I think we did pretty good here, Hydra. Just you and I.
I was just like, I'm just like to add a short mention to the Stars Wars tournament that keeps going on. It's very easy for you guys to find it here on Justin TV. You just need to find IC Cup. They've been recording VODs of every day. They've been casting the replays, and I mean, you have matchups. I was watching the stream last night, and it was something like Jinro versus OGSMC. And TLO versus Love CD, who is a Chinese player, is the brother of Sky, one of the most well-known Warcraft 3 players in China. You have some huge matches on Stars Wars, and people are ignoring the tournament. One issue that I know that they've been having, because I read the comments on the on the stream or on the replays, because the players were commenting on it, is that they've been having some big lag attacks occasionally inside the games, and that always throw down the match. You know, it's frustrating to try to play your best and having lag just assaulting you. Still, the tournament is huge. It's very simple to access it. It's all free and with good quality on Justin TV. Type IC Cup and then go to the VODs page in IC Cup. You have all the days there, like 3-hour VODs with a lot of epic matches for you guys to enjoy. Do not miss that.
Yeah.
That's all.
Thank you, Hydra. And I have one announcement as well, as Sebastian sent me a text message. He recently got a new computer, and he's venturing into shoutcasting, and he wants everybody to know to check out his StarCraft 2 commentary that he's worked on. His website is polygonreview.com, and check out his newest GG Vision with Nada versus Sase. And yeah, I mean, we're going to be hearing more from him. He's going to be joining us next week, but yeah, he's got some good things in store for us, so check that out, and make sure you keep spreading the word about GG Rated. Tell your friends, add us on Twitter, twitter.com/GGRated, and we're just going to keep doing what we do, guys, so hopefully you guys stay tuned and spread the word. And that's it for me, Hydra. Anything you want to add real quick before we bounce?
It's fine. See you all later, guys. Have fun. And next Tuesday, same time, same place, we're going to be here to provide you guys with all the news from the latest week.
Yep.
See ya.
See you guys. GG.